stuff. Medj Maqsad is the founder and CEO of Status Money. And Status Money is a startup that lets users anonymously compare their finances to millions of people like them, which sounds good in a way, but I also wonder, Medj, isn't there the danger here that this gets people comparing in a negative way to the Joneses? How do you deal with that dynamic, people's insecurities not driving them to Status Money, and what was your vision behind it?
Well, first of all, I think any financial transparency is good in helping people understand where they're doing good and, frankly, where they can do better. Given the environment around people being very protective of their financial information, many of us are actually lacking the financial information that we need to make smarter decisions. I worked at large financial institutions for many years as a data scientist, and I could tell you that most of us have no idea if we are doing well financially. And so we founded Status Money with the idea that first and foremost, we want to make it absolutely simple for everybody to understand how well they are doing. And we do that by letting them see how they compare to other people of a similar age, income, and location. And then we use machine learning and algorithms on top of that to show them insights and tips that help them make smarter decisions every day.
Hi there, it's Sharon Epperson. I just had a question about Status Money as well, knowing that many individuals, their money also comes from family, or it may come from an inheritance or something that they may be able to get down the road, whether it's actual investment money or it's a home or something. And that is also something that causes a lot of people anxiety. Why don't I have more? Why am I unable to live the same way as someone else or have the same benefits that other people may have? And it may have to do with they're getting this money from family. It's not based on their income, where they live, or their own investments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what we advise is for people to actually look at their own income, and they can actually also look at it at a household level. And regardless of where you're making your money, it's very important to understand where you stand when it comes to your savings, your spending, and frankly, your financial products. Are your interest rates fair for somebody with your credit score, your income, and your location? So the anxiety effect, I think, in a lot of times happens because people don't have the information. So they speculate and they end up worrying in many cases when they shouldn't.
Medj, give your sense, not just your sense, share some of your data perhaps, of how different people handle taxes themselves in terms of when they file, whether they're owing or getting money back. What does Status Money learn from all the data that you have access to?
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. We looked at the tax transactions from over 1 million people last year and found some very interesting results. People in Houston, Texas, apparently like filing their taxes early. About 60% of the residents of Houston file their taxes a month ahead of time. That's compared with only 40% of New Yorkers. We also found that people in larger cities tend to file later than people in smaller towns, and that most people, 30% of people, in fact, file their taxes on the last week. So maybe that's good news for anybody still working on their taxes today.
Are the people that are late, or the people that are filing later, whether they're in New York City or in a large city, are they doing this because they owe? Are they more likely to owe money? Is that why they're waiting? They
are more likely to owe. In general, about 40% of people end up getting a refund, 60% end up paying. But when it comes to people that are filing in the last week, the opposite seems to be true.
Always hard to find people when they owe you money. I guess that goes for the federal government as well. I also wonder, does Florida file early too? Because I'm thinking states that don't have the state income tax. I wonder if people are, feeling differently around tax time. New York, man, the taxes are, I don't live in New York City, but I have friends who do, and the taxes are sky high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Florida does break down that way, and that's probably the key driver. I think it's a very good hypothesis. We'd have to ask the IRS for their input on that one.